Hey there, I hope you're doing well. For my video today, I wanted to focus on diving deeper into self-care in light of recent traumatic news events. I was going to talk about my favorite podcast today, but I feel like there's so much going on in terms of processing emotions relating to recent news events, specifically events relating to Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, and the Amy Cooper matter. It's a lot to emotionally process, and these events, especially like conversations around them and video footage, it's triggering for a lot of people. So in light of all that, specifically the complex emotions that a lot of us are working through at the moment, I highly recommend speaking to a licensed therapist if needed to help with unpacking difficult emotions that you may be working through. The second point that I wanted to briefly mention or speak about is I'm hearing a lot of people ask the question, why are these events happening with such increasing frequency? Like, what's happening in society today? In my opinion, I think that it's not a matter of them happening more frequently. It's the fact that people have smartphones. They are recording these events and sharing them online within seconds. And that footage or the content is being made available to people worldwide. It wasn't captured on video in the past. Now, increasingly, people are recording moments that normally happen privately in social life. They're recording it and sharing it, and it's having the impact that it's having right now in the world. And so yeah, moments that normally happened in private, in the dark, so to speak, are now coming to light, and the footage is being circulated on a mass scale. There's a lot of different ways that I could go with that particular point, but for the purpose of this video, just another reminder, continue to curate your feed, be mindful about what you're clicking on when you're scrolling, keep scrolling. If you feel like it could be triggering content to watch, just really protect your emotional well-being, your mental health, and your mental wealth at this time and overall. The third point that I wanted to quickly mention as well is that your emotions are valid. I feel like a lot of people are debating that in some conversations, like, well, why do you feel this way? I feel blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, like we're all entitled to feel the way that we feel. So if you feel like people are questioning your emotions, just stand strong, lean into your emotions, because how you feel is valid. Your emotions are in fact valid. So on that point, let's dive into these tips. I like this post by Exo Nicole on Instagram. It says, protect your mental health after traumatic news. Number one, know what your triggers are. Not every platform requires your energy. Log off social media or turn off the news. Your mental and emotional health is more important than being plugged in. Tip number two, create boundaries. Don't be afraid to tell your friends, family, or whoever to kindly stop sending you footage of events that trigger you in any shape or form. And number three, be mindful of what you share. Try not to accidentally trigger others by sharing certain content. There are people who may not want to share your outrage or pain at this moment. In addition to these tips, I think they're awesome. I would recommend being mindful about safe spaces. Where are you sharing certain conversations, certain points? I am very mindful about where I am posting certain conversations or certain points. If I'm looking for a safe space where I desire, for example, an emotional ROI, like a positive emotional return on investment, I'm very particular about where I speak my mind or where I post my thoughts. For example, I may not post my thoughts on my Facebook page, but I'll go to a Facebook group and share my thoughts there. Or I'll be mindful about sharing certain thoughts in certain text conversations and so on. So yeah, I think overall it's important to be mindful about positive emotional ROI and safe space considerations. If overall you're down for a debate and public discussion, by all means go for it, but check in with yourself before diving into certain conversations, whether or not you really need a safe space in that moment, or if you're open to general conversation in an open forum. The next point too is just a reminder on other self-care tips. So, making sure you're getting your sleep. I know a lot of people are struggling with getting sleep these days, so be really mindful about that. If you need to consider sleep meditation, I think that's a good idea. Continue to nourish your body. Make sure you're eating well, hydrating. Remember prayer, meditation. Feel good content overall. So what you're watching, what you're listening to, feel good music. getting in that exercise, getting some sunshine. Like overall, all of the standard self-care tips, we need to be mindful about implementing those on a day-to-day basis. So I think I'll end it there. I will end the video on a quote from a post that I shared on my Instagram this morning, which is, "Keep going. You didn't come this far to only come this far." I love that. Keep going. You didn't come this far to only come this far. I know very often these days we feel like we're walking against a current or dragging ourselves forward through mud, but keep moving forward, keep pushing yourself, and ultimately the goal for you is to keep thriving. Hold on to that, keep the faith, and keep thriving. So that's my video for today. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family, and I will see you soon in the next video. Take care. Bye.